Welcome to the program, the Sunday edition. I'll be talking about some stories that we probably have missed with all that's going on in the nation. On tomorrow, I'll be talking about politics and things of that nation. But for right now, I'm gonna talk about some other stories. This is a story as reported in the USA Today. The headline reads Antonio Brown extradited to the United States to face attempted murder charge. And this article was written by Nick uh, Brickerhoff for USA Today. Former NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown was extradited from the Middle East to the United States to stand trial for a shooting following a Miami boxing event on May 16. Police confirmed on November 6 to the Miami Herald. The 37-year-old had been in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, prior to his extradition, which came over 4.5 months after a warrant was issued for his arrest. Brown was temporarily detained following the event hosted by streamer Adine Ross in May. Brown was later charged with attempted murder and had a warrant issued for his arrest in Miami-Dade County, Florida on June 11. Miami police spokesperson Michael Vega confirmed to NBC News that Brown was successfully apprehended. Quote, Miami police confirmed that U.S. Marshals have apprehended Antonio Brown and that he has been extradited to the United States, end quote. Vega told NBC, quote, no date has been set for his transfer to Miami-Dade County. Now, what's alarming about this is that there are so many athletes who get themselves in trouble with the notoriety rather, and the fame. Hey, what's happening? Bad dude, come pop. With the fame, the notoriety, and the access that they have, they just can't seem sometimes to stay out of trouble. And the question is, why was he allowed to go to Dubai if, in fact, they knew that he had this hanging over top of his head, and why was he even admitted into Dubai to begin with? Miami police confirmed that U.S. Marshals have apprehended Antonio Brown. So I've already read that. Brown initially addressed the incident in a post on X on May 17. Quote, I was jumped by multiple individuals who tried to steal my jewelry and cause physical harm to me, end quote. Brown wrote in part, quote, contrary to some videos circulating, police temporarily detained me until they received my side of the story and then released me. I went home that night and was not arrested, end quote. Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, there probably is a lot more to this story than it appears to be. And the bottom line is he's in the Miami-Dade County jail. Bail has not been set, and there's no date pending for him to appear in court. And the fact that this is an attempted murder charge, that's going to add a more serious part to this. The former NFL star had been previously arrested in Broward County, Florida in October 2023 for allegedly failing to pay child support. What is it with these men who don't like to pay child support? If you have children, whether you get along with the mother or not, take care of the child or children. Handle your responsibilities as a man. You don't make children suffer because you and the mother are not getting along. That's insidious. It makes no kind of sense. I'm not going to cut any slack because you're an NFL great or NFL star. If you don't want to be talked about, you don't want to be dragged into child support court, you don't want negative articles written about you, handle your business with your child and or your children. Sometimes people just aren't meant to be together. That's just the bottom line. Ask me how I know. Sometimes people just aren't meant to be together. The chemistry just isn't there. It was nothing more for some people than a physical attraction, you know. Oh, okay, Bob. And you have to be fair in life, ladies and gentlemen. Seriously, sometimes relationships fall apart. Sometimes people are in love, they fall out of love. It does not mean that you shouldn't be civil and have respect for one another. And especially when there is a child or children involved, because those children or that child will grow up one day. And when they find out that their father did not care for them, did not like them, would not take care of them because of what they had against their mother, and it works both ways. Too many women are punishing fathers. You get the child support, but you still are animus. You still have bitterness and hatred and unforgiveness on the inside of your heart toward the father or father of your children. And then you go through life poisoning the mind of the child or the children, and they grow up not even know why they hate their father or hate their mother. So, people, we got to get this thing right and sit down and talk and try to make things better. So, and the article goes on to say the former NFL star, well, I read that. Now, one of the league's biggest receivers during his prime, Brown played 12 seasons in the NFL, primarily for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He bounced around after 9 seasons with the team and was traded to then the Oakland Raiders. Brown never played a down for the silver and black, eventually signing with the New England Patriots as a free agent. He went on to play 2 seasons for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before abruptly running off the field during a game against the New York Jets on July 2nd, 2022. I don't know what all that was about. So eventually, Brown was released by Tampa just days later, making the final contest of his NFL career. Why put yourself in a situation where you're going to be doing things that are going to hurt you, mostly in the long run? And when you put yourself in a situation, a set of circumstances where you cannot abide by certain rules and guidelines, then you know what ends up happening? All kind of trouble starts happening. And whatever Antonio Brown is dealing with, he's going to have to deal with it. I'm quite sure if he has means, he'll get himself a good attorney or attorneys to represent him, to make sure that his side of the story is told, because there are 2 sides to every story. I'm a firm knower of that, not just a believer, but I'm a firm knower that there are 2 sides to every story. And when the story is finally told, we'll find out why this alleged attempted murder charge was given to Antonio Brown to begin with. In the next video, I'm going to talk about a story that's really, really heartbreaking. But this story must be talked about. As I said earlier, I'll touch on politics and stuff later on tomorrow. But now I want to talk about a couple of stories that we probably missed in the midst of everything that's going on in the nation. So I started off with this particular story because it caught my attention this morning as I came into the studio. Now I found another article that I'm going to read. Let's see if I can get this. Well, actually, I don't even have to read this one because it's basically covering the same thing. Antonio Brown, handle your business. If you're watching this video on the inside, handle your business. Don't put yourself in a situation whereby your whole life could eventually be taken away from you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Never surrender, never quit.